Good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I've just been out piddling around. Got looking around and it's like, I need to modify and make a better electrolysis. And so this is what I did. My wife said, you should have took a video when you was doing this. I said, everybody's seen this stuff time after time again. But this is what I did. I had some long bolts, some long drill bits. And I went and added 4 of them. As you can see, I got one on each side. Got them secured with the wire. I wrapped them, then I pulled it through. And you see this little black wire, it's going all the way around. And I've got a little space cut out where I can wire it together and make contact. And that goes all the way around. And I drilled a hole and for it to come up, and that's where my positive is hooked up on. I've seen a couple of people that were having theirs hanging in the water. And the reason why I'm doing this, so I could get equal coverage on all sides from those sacrificial anodes and anode rods. Instead of just having one on one side, which you're getting effect mostly on at one angle, now I'm getting full coverage. And what I did, I got 4 of my clips and I drilled a hole, 4 holes, and I measured and adjusted them to the length that I wanted. For real tall stuff, as you see, that shortest one, that's going to keep it just below the water line. And then I got some others. I'm going to do my hammer plate for that musket rifle I found. But I got to keep eye on it. I don't want to overdo it too long. I put a cup of washing soda. Don't have much very good light. Hold on, let me get my flashlight. Reason why I wanted a flashlight, I gotta make sure that none of this stuff is touching. Those are those barrel rings that I found, and probably more than likely those came off of a gunpowder keg, a small one. I gotta make sure nothing is touching those rods. Any of the metal that touches those anode rods becomes sacrificial, so there, that's good. That should give me good coverage on all 4 sides. Okay. And I wired these together, as you see. And then I left a bunch of it all knotted up enough that my negative can grab a hold of. You see where I wrapped on the inside on each drill bit. I had another drill bit, a smaller one that I was using, and that worked pretty good. But this kind of metal, I'm going to keep this outside. I'm not going to do it inside. Sometimes they can produce gas. Okay. I'm going to plug this baby in. I just plugged it in. And this is an automatic. See, look at it. Man, that done started. Boom! Look at them rods too. That's good. I don't know if it'd be wise to stick my finger in it with all that's going. Probably be a real bad stain. I ain't the smartest cracker in a box, but I'm no idiot. Man, look at that. That is just like kicking butt, dude. I've really got to keep my eye on that hammer plate now. But we're going to let that sit. Let them hang out for a while. How about that? Or hang down. That's pretty easy arrangement. I think that's going to do a lot better than that other one I had. Okay, we're back in the garage. And I don't care what people says, my automatic battery charger is still working. And I'm on 2 amps and I'm on conventional low maintenance. I got 2 settings, conventional or maintenance free deep cycle. And ever since I started doing this, I've used that. I guess I got the lucky one. It's not quitting on me. Starting to get a little build up, as you can see. That's a good thing. I'm gonna turn this off for a minute. Simply say, why don't you just leave it in there and let it keep doing its thing. I got a precious piece in here, and I don't want to overdo it. Too, I gotta be careful with that big ring, because it's darkening. Hold on. I'm gonna let it cruise just a little bit longer. Okay. It's been in there for over a good hour, and I thought it's about time to go ahead and pull this out. You can see the blackening underneath it. That's a good sign. I just had a dimple right there. I was just afraid to leave it in too long. I just want to get it long enough just to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. You can see where that rust is just really coming right off. That should clean up pretty good, I hope. This keg ring, that done pretty good too. I was worried about this piece, because as you can see, it's been eaten on a little bit, especially right in this area. But I think that should clean up pretty good. Okay, this is like a 2-part. The pieces I was doing before, I went ahead and processed them, got them relic curio, and this video's been sitting aside for quite a while, and so I'm adding to it and trying to show you a few things that I'm doing. But one thing you can see, this stuff is really cooking. Added a couple of cups of Arm & Hammer washing soda. Hopefully I didn't add too much, but you see it working. Too, it's a little bit chilly today, and I've got my garage partially open. That could be adding, but this stuff does produce a gas, and it's really gassing up today. Look at those rods. Those rods are those big old drill bits I used. Each one of them is doing it. I don't know why my phone is doing what it's doing right now. We're going to pull this stuff up. I added some new items. In addition, I've got another powder keg ring to do. Got some horseshoe and a half. Got a stirrup. Some more horse tack. This is a cool piece I got out of a field. It's all 1800s. We're gonna pull this stuff up here and show you what I got cooking. I went and turned it off for a minute. What I'm gonna show you what I'm cooking. This looks like it could have been a no chisel. It's got the angle. And it's got the head, the flatness there. That's what I suspect that was. This is part of a, boy, I can feel the warmth in this. This is part of a wagon. The canopy hook that hooks onto the canopy that went over the wagon. This is part of saddle. Part of the horse tack from the saddle. This here, I don't know what it is. It's four-sided, it's 1800s, it's old. Got a point coming down to the bottom, curves around. Could have been something attached maybe to some kind of farming tool probably, I don't know. Just looks cool. Gotta make sure none of this stuff touches the sacrificial animal rods, and I'm gonna turn it back on. So I just kind of want to show you. See, it's all bubbling back again. Show you my system that I'm using now. It's a little bit more professional, I think. Man, that's really putting out some gas. But I'm using, as I said before, an automatic charger. Maybe got one of the lucky ones. This thing does not cut off. I've never had no problems yet. But I'm going to leave this in for probably about an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most. We're going to let a lot of that cook off. Hopefully we can get a lot of that rust off. This log splitter, this wedge, it's got a lot of good meat. That's going to do good. I'm glad to get that. I'm afraid of that stirrup. Afraid it's going to break there at the top. I may try to put it in there, and because I would really like to get this rust weak enough to try to break some of those nodules. Rest of that, I'm just going to have to try to smooth it down the best I can. But I am so afraid. That's really thin. I'm afraid it's going to break there. I hope it don't. We'll come back to it later and see what we got. Okay, let's see what we got going. It's been over an hour. And it's still cooking. Let's see what we got, see what we got. Let's turn this off. I'm surprised that automatic battery charger been working so great. Oh, I sure can feel it. It's darkening up a little bit. One thing I gotta be careful right there, that tip with that hook. I do not want to lose that, but I think it's healthy enough. It's not going to happen. I think these pieces, I think they're pretty healthy. I think they're going to be able to handle. See, look at that. That's just flaking right off. Look at that. Gotta be careful though that I don't lose too much. That stuff came right off, man. I'm gonna put it in here for just a little while longer. Let that cook a little bit. Get that rust flaky like biscuits. That's turned out pretty good. I like that. Very possible this is going to be the end of the video. You kind of see the way this is going. You see the way my bucket is made now. Used to be that and everything was all over to the side. Didn't look too professional. But that's how I'm doing it. And it's doing it. Like I say, I got these other cool pieces I'm going to get. And once that gets all fixed up, that's going in my relic curio. And that is really starting to get kind of full, folks. Clarksville Diggers might have to get another curio. It's amazing the things you can find and then you preserve. But once all that gets done and get the most of the rust off and get it smoothed down, then we're gonna very possible I may either spray it. I've been spraying them with a light spray of black rust restore. Then I heat them up, and then I dip them in beeswax and wipe off the residue, and then cover it again and keep wiping off. Beeswax gets in there and really seals that up, makes everything airtight. But you gotta be careful you don't get too much on there, and then it gives it that white, milky, pasty looking. You want to get all that off. And while the piece is still hot, you wipe it off. But that's how I'm doing it. Like I say, it's working. So this may be the end of this particular. I just kind of wanted to show y'all and show some people. A long time ago, they've been asking about how I'm doing electrolysis bath. And I did a quick one with that, but I modified to this. And that's turned out pretty good. So y'all have a blessed day. And Joanne and I really appreciate y'all watching. And we will see you again out in the field. Until then, Clarksville Diggers, we're out.